Customer service.
I'm sorry, you said order checks. Is that correct?
Customer service.
Another transaction. Is that correct?
Customer service.
Online banking.
Customer service.
Your call is so important to us.
Hi, my name is Max, and today we have another interesting session regarding machine learning and customer experience. We have Maaz today with us. Maaz is going to walk us through some of the analysis that he has done. So to unleash growth, it is very important to make unforgettable customer experiences, which definitely drive the business. And why you should be doing CX is because it's a cornerstone of lasting success. You can have sustainable business growth, and definitely you would be able to create memorable experiences. And lastly, you can stay ahead of competition. So I would invite Maaz to walk us through CX and use of machine learning on this topic, and what analysis we can do out of some of the metrics or data points we gather across different journey points to do this whole thing. So over to you, Maaz. Maaz is a customer experience expert. He's also has a data science background, and he's going to walk us through the landscape and some of the topics, how to build your machine learning pipeline and do some of the analysis. So over to you, Maaz.
Okay, thank you so much, Hassan. Thanks for a very nice introduction. So let me just jump up into the landscape of the customer experience. So we categorize our customer experience into the journey, which start from the consulting, training, and the networking, in which we initiate our process with the customer experience vision, like what we are thinking about, what are the objectives and what we are going to achieve, and what we have defined our goals. And then we strategize that how we are going to overcome with these hurdles, and if we face any difficulties or such kind of failures, how we can jump into it, how we can achieve those things. And then we apply those things by getting the insights of the user's data, and we see that these are the data points which shows some anomaly, and how we can optimize it and how we can make it more enhanced. Then we apply those things into the activation activities and apply those things. The last and the most important part is to maintain the momentum. Like we are going to sustain, like our goal is to make the journey more sustained from starting till end. Like everything will be the same, not it going to be changed from up and downs. There will be no hurdles, and it will be the same like if they are going to repeat the process. So for this purpose, we have different metrics to identify the customer experience. So currently we are focusing on the CSAT and then the NPS. Both of them are the very important factor in the form of identify how the customer is loyalist. What our major focus during our podcast is to apply the machine learning algorithm by using those two important metrics, and then we can see how companies are using user data to giving you a score and retain you from the churn, like to make you a churner. So in the process of this one, we have different steps. First, what we are going to do is that but actually what companies do, they get your data, historical data, because you are familiar. Like if I'm going to give you an example from different industry, like from the banking sector to the medical and the telecom, once you enter into the area, you need to register yourself. So you can identify a different person, so they can identify you from the other one. You give your age, you give your gender, you give your address, postal address, nationality. Those are the important factor in the form of to identify you. So, and then you use their product from initial till end. Whatever you do, you drop your points, and those points will help the company to identify your history, like identify to give you a score, like how you are using their product, so they can make it more efficient, or they can give you more services, so they can improve themselves as well. So after getting those important historical data, what they do is to make it more gentle. Like they make the EDA, like they clean the data and identify the most important features by applying different statistical approaches, by the p-value or the z-square or chi-square test, and or the heat map score. They identify that these are the correlation of those columns of the data point which are the more important, so they can use those one in the training process. So now they have the data points which is the most important one. So they will not going to give all the data points of the historical data to the model so they can train them. It will be the like it will like the model will be overtrained, like they will not much accurate. So they have the most important features. Now they are going to train them, and then they identify that these are the patterns, these are the data points which is very much impactful, so they can apply that action on it. So and then they can by using those data points, they can build they can predict and games like action can be taken on this one. So these are the four important steps. Whatever process you are going in, these you need to perform those important four steps to start your initial machine learning project. So now start with a demo in which I am going to give you about the CSAT, NPS, and the loyalty program as well. You will get this demo notebook of the CX in the LinkedIn on the YouTube description as well. So in this one, I try to give you a small definition of how the CSAT is and how it works, and all the data I'm using. This one is a demo one; it's not an actual one, and all the parameters which I'm using in this notebook is very generic. It doesn't relate with any of the organization or any of the area. It's very generic demo, but you will understand how the customer experience will like machine learning will use to make it more enhanced. Okay, so in this one, you see that we have a CSAT score. We are trying to get the CSAT score by using the rating, which will give us by the user. And then we apply it by, we have a positive rating and we apply with the overall, and then we get the overall CSAT score. And then if you go down, can you please go down to NPS? Now, in the NPS, we have three categories, like we have promoter, passive, and the detractor. Okay, so in this one, you see like the promoter is the most important feature in this area because it will help us to recommend the specific area. Okay, so in this, the NPS, we have three categories: promoter, passive, and a detractor. Like in the promoter, we know that who is going to recommend us, that he is the most loyal customer of us, that he's the most happiest one from the rest of the customer. And then we have the neutral, which don't have any complaints, which he is a very fine, he didn't see any hurdle or anything. And then we have a category of the detractor, which face some issues and have some complaints. What we will do is we are trying to identify who is going to be the passiver, who is going to be a promoter, and who is going to be a detractor. So first, this is the similar thing that we get the score of the NPS. That how we get it, like we set up some values for the like 9 to 10, and then we get the NPS score. If you go down, Hassan, you see that we collect some features, like these are the most important features throughout the historical data, like the waiting time, agent friendliness, resolution quality, and the CSAT rating. Like we made some score by our own self, like from 1 to 5, from 1 to 5. So we set up the score because we have the time. If we collect the raw data, we see that the waiting time comes up in the seconds, and if we get the friendliness, it comes up in the rating to 1 to 10, sometime 1 to 100, and in the resolution quality is also comes into the minutes. So we have also the CSAT rating. So we may clean the data in the form of 1 to 5, and then if you come down, Hassan, then we are applying with our model, which we are using the linear regression in this one. So we categorize our data into x and the y-axis because we are going to predict our CSAT rating. So we are using our wait time, agent friendliness, and resolution quality in our x-axis, and then we apply with our model. So once our model is trained, then we give us the dummy data, like to check how our model is working and how it's predicting this person on the user level. By the way, we are talking about the user level, so we give us the values of the waiting time, agent friendliness, resolution quality. You see that it comes up into the 4.0 score. Like this is a very pretty good score for on the user level, that this user is a good one. Our model predict that this user is going to be a best one. So now what we will do is that we give us the data, we give big data, not just for one user, for three to four users. If you go down, and we also give them a category
on this computer. हाँ शुरू है.
Okay, so previously we are just talking about the one user data. Now we have the 4 users data, just the demo. So you can see that now we have all the category, all the parameters. Parameters mean we have all the features. Now we have the NPS category as well, like NPS promoter, passive, dictator, or the promoter. If you go down, that we are applying with our, we will apply this with our model as well. So now we have all the user data. So what we are going to do in this model, like we are using the random forest classifier. So we wanted to train our model in the form of, like, is that a user on which category he's going to be fall on. So we will use our overall satisfactory feature, product quality, and the customer support score. So all of the data is being converted in the score level. Now we will use the Y feature for the NPS category. So and then after training the model, we give them dummy data to test our model and give us that this user is going to be fallen on which category. So by applying the model, we see that the user is a passive one. If you go up, Hassan, if you go above, yes, more. See, the passive one comes up with the very good overall satisfaction, product quality, and the customer support. So if because model is being trained on the content based a content based recommendation system, in which they are using to use the previous history of the data, like what he was doing recently. So these things is very important if you are going to train our model. So setting up we have a dummy data in which we have 4 users data of their history on different how they perform on different touch points. So we classify them into 2 categories because we are going to train them. So these are the tuned data points, which is being converted into the score level and used to train our model. So we are not going to overfit our model. So that's why we are made the data very clean and then applying to the model. So after applying the model, after the training, we see that these users, you can see here, we give them a dummy data to check, to test our model to see that where this user lies. So you can see that with having a 7 score, product quality 8, and customer support 6, it comes up into the passive category. So this is the short demo of how we are going to identify the NPS prediction. If you come down, Hassan, here. Yes. Now, now we are going to discuss about the loyalty. So you see the different companies giving you a points, so you can redeem it in their own way. For example, you are using some airline and you are a user of the airline from the past 1 to 2 years or for past months. So they give you a loyalty card, and once you travel they give you a miles, and the miles is more like points, so you can utilize it in your next flight. So you get some discount, or you get more storage area, more luggage, or you can get some good food. So these are the points of the loyalty program from different areas. Like in the airlines, if you comes up in the Starbucks, like a coffee shop, Starbucks is the major one. They give you a points, and you can utilize them into their stores, into any stores throughout the country. You can use that points and get something to by redeeming it. So and into the telecom sector, they also give you a points if you are a very loyal customer and give you a very good ARPU. So I told you earlier that the loyalty have different definitions of different sectors. So this demo is very generic, as you can see here. Assuming that we are talking about sector, telecom sector, so we give them a loyalty index. Like we have a loyalty index of the user, which we have from 0.8 to 0.7. Can you please go up, Hassan? So you can see here that we do have the data of the user, that how the previous user previously he used these points earlier, like he used their points on specific area, like they can he redeemed this one in coffee shop, or the bookstore, or the electronic store, or the restaurants, or in spa. So these are the points with redeemable places. Okay, so we have the index of the user as well, like how they use their points. So in this manner, there are different kind of recommendation system as well. So this one is a collaborative content based filtering recommendation system, because we are using a historical data. So if you go down, Hassan, you can see here, like we have the how we're going to suggest. There's a different system, like there's a different apps. They recommend you that based on your previous history, you can use this point in this area. So you see, we are recommending, we are setting up the conditions. This is a condition system, like we are just setting up the condition, like based on this one, these are the points which are the, like height 5 restaurant, like a dine for the dining, like in the 5-star hotels or somewhere else. So these they can use up to 0.8%, like 80%. If they have 80% of the point, they can use it into the restaurants. If they have a points of 0.5, they can use it in the coffee shop or in bookstore. Sorry. And if they are going to use it in the restaurants or in the electronic store as well, it comes up into 0.6 to 0.7 category. If you go down, Hassan. So now we have the user's data as well, so customer data, and then we apply to the different redeemable places as well. What we are going to do first, we are going to split our data into testing and training, and then apply the classifier, and then we will check the accuracy, and then we will apply the that which user is going to be on which category on the redeemable places. If you go down, Hassan, can you please? Yes, more. Yes, this one. Okay, so in this cell, what I'm trying to do is first converting our column into the label encoder. So you see that we have a different kind of columns, and not all the machine learning algorithms are able to convert the simple text or the text into the classification manner. So for this manner, just an example, like you can use the encoder as well. So encoder, what encoder do is in convert the simple text into the binary level. So computer will only understand the binary text. So they can understand, they convert the text into the binary. So after the training, it decode them back to the English type, back to the simple words. So you can see here that we first train our model. Now we have the customer data, and now we wanted to train with the redeemer braces, which is a label one, so which we convert them into the apply by using the label encoder. So once we apply the model, we set up some random state and then checking up the accuracy, how the model accuracy is. Can you please go down? This example is like this is 100% accurate. Maybe there's some issue with the model, like because we are dealing with a very small amount of data. That's why the model is not accurate. It's overfit. So if you go down, Hassan, you can see here now we have the loyalty index of 85%. We wanted to check that on which area he is going to use. Can you please go down? More. It's actually the same thing, by the way. So now we are going to suggest the user based on the trained model that loyalty index of 0.85, suggesting a place of the high-end restaurant. If the loyalty comes up in the 0.6, it places a restaurant electronic store. It You can change the classification, like you can change the redeemer place's name by your own choice. Okay, so it's not like static. You can change the name, so it gives you the predicted one. These are the predicted, by the way. These are the predicted results by using the trained model. So see, we check that we check by customer data training after like these are the points of the data points, and you can also run this whole demo by your own self by changing the values, applying more data, and then you will see the results by your own self as well. So this demo is specifically about the introduction of the different metrics of the CSAT, NPS, and their prediction, and then about the loyalty. Hopefully in our next session, inshallah, we will discuss more and furthermore deep dive into different customer experience methods and how we can improve it, and how different companies are using it. Because in this 2024, the major focus of the companies is to use the Gen AI, so that like how they can utilize this one in the form of CX. Hopefully, we will discuss in our next session. Thank you, Hassan. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Maaz. So, couple of benefits that I see applying machine learning into the CX space is that we can analyze individual customer behavior basically. So, as you explained through the demo, we were able to go through, okay, what customer was more loyal from, or what was deriving their touch point in the journey for their positive scores. And then I think you also mentioned about collaborative and content-based filtering. So if you can explain more about that.
Yeah, sure. Like we have a different algorithm for the recommendation. We have the content based, and we have a like we have content based, and we have a collaborative way. Like content and collaborative is two different things. Like content based is like your previous historical data, like how you perform earlier, like how you utilize your customer journey from starting till the end. And then we have a collaborative recommendation system. In the collaborative, as the name shows, it identifies the same user's pattern, and based on your user's data, it can check how this person, you didn't utilize the system, you just use at once, and then it identifies that this kind of person who use these services and comes up, they cluster the same users with the similar experience and recommend you on the basis of their usage. Like you use the Netflix recommendation system based, like it recommends you not on the basis of your own user, but also on a similar user interest from different users. So same thing from the YouTube and the Spotify. So we will discuss more in our next session, and we will use a demo, like how we can utilize it in different area, in the movie recommendation, into the sound recommendation, and the book recommendation. Because in e-commerce, it is a very, very important topic nowadays. Because people wanted to see a recommendation, like how they, so they can not think more, so they can make their final decision based on the recommendation. So, inshallah, in our next session, we will more deep dive on the recommendation system and mm, two of their most important things, like content based and the collaborative based.
Perfect, perfect. And while I was going through your demos, I think proactive engagement is another very big benefit out of this because you can identify which touch points were causing for bad CSAT and NPS, and then you can take the proactive engagement approach to fix some of those areas. And lastly, I think
Yes.
it also can enable businesses to make personalized recommendations or changes. For example, if certain segment or users or certain demographic is showing a certain behavior, you can make personalized recommendations for them and make sure that they get the best experience out of your business. I would like to thank you for taking out time and preparing the demo and slides. And definitely, I believe we would be doing more collaborative stuff together to come up with some
Inshallah.
more interesting topics around customer experience and how it can drive growth. So I think from today's topic, there are still, a lot of points which we may need to cover. For example, as we were debating before the session, what drives loyalty is very dependent on industry. So maybe we can take a deep dive into in each industry what is driving loyalty. So that is something we can explore
Yeah.
in the next session. And I think that would be another
Yeah,
interesting
hopefully.
session to discuss about. So thank you so much, Moz, and
Thank you
thank
so
you to
much.
our viewers and listeners who tuned in. And have a nice day. Take care.
Thank you so much, Hassan. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.